You're home. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, when you get a chance, oh, my hands are cold. I've been cooking your food. Hey, when you get a chance, I need you to sit down and tell us all about why you want gluten-free. Can you do that for us?
Yes.
Thank you. Love you. Hello, welcome back to Paragon Ridge Ranch. Well, it's a new year. Happy New Year! New Year's usually comes New Year resolutions. I personally have not created a New Year's resolution and ever stuck to it, like probably millions of other people in the world. But I do have some changes that I'd like to make, and I'm gonna let YouTube hold me accountable. So I started thinking what's made me successful, and I've tried to think about what's made me feel like I need to do more, what I'd like to work on. So I really started thinking about, me and Jeremy have been together for 25 years. That's 25 years of making dinner, 25 years of taking care of a home, of working, 25 years of being together and doing everything that we can to make each other's lives better. Something that I need to work on is making his life better. He does so much for us, and we're a great team, but I feel like I should give him a little bit more of my attention than I have been. You see, Jeremy went completely gluten-free a little over 2 years ago. Let me tell you what gluten-free means. Gluten-free means you do not eat anything that contains wheat. The change that I'd like to make this year for Jeremy is to feed him better gluten-free meals. Now, I am a sous chef. I make dinner for me and Jeremy. Sometimes I make dinner for me and Preston. Always make something separate for Parker because he only eats mac and cheese or chicken nuggets. Sometimes we're lucky and he has the occasional pizza rolls. Most dinners are gluten-free, and they were that way before he started eating this way. If you really think about it, if you have a meat and a carb and a vegetable, that's generally the way that I cook traditionally. But what about pastas? What about burgers? What about sandwiches? What about pizza? So yes, all those things do come in gluten-free, but they're very, very expensive. The variety of gluten-free food at our local stores down here is not the best. I feel like when Jeremy's home for anything other than dinner that I can't provide for him. You can only eat so much lunch meat and cheese. You can only eat so many frozen pizzas. You can only eat so much chicken breast or chopped meat. Yes, he loves ziti. He loves spaghetti. I do get that gluten-free, but that's kind of where we're at. I started doing a lot with flour that was gluten-free and some pancake mix that's gluten-free, but for some reason I can't get it to rise with yeast, so I need to learn better and use better products. What I'm going to create is a playlist called My Gluten-Free Husband. Before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about what gluten means. I've done some research on top of the knowledge that I already have, and a great source is the Celiac Foundation. I've learned so much from their website, and I'll put the link below so you can learn it too. What you need to know about gluten-free. There's a lot that you need to know, but then again, there's really not a lot that you need to know. Number one, you don't have to eat boring or tasteless. You could have any meat that's not processed. And what I mean by that is chicken breast, steak, hamburger meat, fish, shrimp, anything that's meat that is not processed with a mixed seasoning or breading of any kind. Seasonings, on the other hand, you do need to watch to make sure that they're gluten-free. Gluten-free diets don't make you lose weight. It's really a health benefit for people with diseases and sensitivities, but it's not to use to lose weight. It can happen for some, I guess, but in our case, it didn't happen at all. Distilled wines are gluten-free when it goes through that distillery process, something about the peptides, and it makes it a gluten-free product. However, beer is not. Now, we've seen many, many different beer brands that claim to be gluten-free, and they have the gluten-free price tag on them as well. I mean, for a 6-pack, you could spend $15 to $20. The next thing is eating gluten-free isn't that easy for your family and friends. It's actually not even easy for me taking him to a restaurant. He always asks, is this gluten-free pasta? Do you make sure that you use the gluten-free bread? Is the gluten-free pizza? He always questions me. But when we go out to restaurants, he tries to stick to the same places because he knows exactly what to order every time. It's pretty safe to say that any Mexican restaurant, if you order corn tortillas and then you have a vegetable, a rice, and a meat, that he's pretty safe. If we go to a fancy restaurant, most of the time they don't have gluten-free pastas or breads or breadsticks or any of that really good stuff that he likes. When it comes to family and friends, when we go to their houses, they do start to ask, what can Jeremy eat? And pretty much I just tell them nothing that's breaded and nothing that you make with a wheat flour, and no kind of pasta that's non-gluten free. So generally my mom will make chili, my sister will make jalapeno cheese poppers, things like that tend to go over pretty well for the whole family. It's really, really great for Jeremy's gluten-free living. When you go shopping, if you find something that says gluten-free, you will know that it is safe for anyone with gluten allergies or celiac disease. Now, having that gluten-free label means that it has less than 20 parts per million of gluten, which is the threshold for anyone with celiac disease. One of the last things is gluten-free can also lead to some deficiencies. Amino acids, B vitamins, and iron lacks in fortified foods. However, if you have deep, rich vegetables, fruits, beans, lettuces, things like that, they will provide you with better nutrition in your diet, which you should be eating anyways, because that sounds really good and healthy anyway. So he doesn't eat a lot of fruit. I mean, he likes bananas, but he eats blueberries sometimes. He'll eat strawberries or raspberries. One last thing is, if it says it does not contain wheat, there is other things you need to look for. Rye, barley, and soy sauce are off the menu. And speaking of soy sauce, you need to look at your sauces, jellies, jams, marinades, things like that, and just look on the back and see if they are wheat or whey free and if they're soy free. Now, Jeremy can have soy. Soy does not trigger any of the allergies or any of the problems that he has against gluten. However, he cannot have any wheat, barley, or rye. That's just a little bit of education on gluten-free. Back to my issue. I feel like he's starving all the time. It's like, what do you feed your husband? And then I feel like he's relying on me too much to make him food. But when I really think about what my goal is for this year is, I just need to feed him better. I'm at home. I don't work. I have a lot going on all the time. But the one thing I can do is make sure that he always has a full belly. In this series that I'm going to make, I will be preparing baked goods, snacks, dinners, lunches, breakfasts, breads, pastries, cookies, brownies, anything that you could imagine. We could even go on the side of snacks and be beyond fruits and nuts and berries. They might be pre-packed food. They might be frozen food. It might be fresh food from my garden. I don't know. We're going to see where it takes us, but I really think that it's going to help me grow, hold me accountable, and it might help you too. Once you hear his story, what gluten-free has done for his life, you might really need to look into yourself and go see a doctor. I don't know about you, but I don't even think that I own an apron. Isn't that what you wear when you do cooking shows? I need an apron, I need a knife, I need a mixer, I need a spoon, I need a spatula. Not only will I be cooking and baking for you, I'm also going to show you new products, show you how the consistency is, the taste is, how to make different recipes, things like that that I'm going to learn to benefit my gluten-free husband. You're home. Hi.
Hi.
So, I've been cooking for you all day. And how's work?
Peachy.
Hey, when you get a chance, oh my
What's your hands are cold?
I've been cooking your food. Hey, when you get a chance, I need you to sit down and tell us all about why you went gluten-free. Can you do that for us?
Yes.
Thank you. Love you.